Do you suffer from FOMO? Fear of missing out on your favorite sporting event when you're away from home? With ipVanish VPN, you don't have to worry about streaming content over unsafe or restricted Wi-Fi to watch your favorite events. ipVanish VPN allows you unlimited and secure streams to all your favorite sporting events. Don't let unsafe Wi-Fi and ISP throttling stop you from cheering on your home team or favorite athletes. Get ipVanish VPN now.
Yes, everybody, Russ on the West Ham Network. Hope you're safe. Well, just little plug for the ipVanish. Get your VPN 83% off. My lovely long-serving West Ham fans, long-suffering West Ham fans, welcome back to the channel, Russ on the West Ham Network. Let's be honest, it's not exactly all sunshine and bubbles at the moment at West Ham. We're second bottom of the league, one win all season. Nuno hasn't got a win yet, and last time we was at London Stadium, we were humbled by Brentford 2-0, which actually now doesn't look so bad now, considering the games that have played since and how well Brentford have been. But still, football clearly loves us. And our next test is a Newcastle United side who are rocking up fresh from a 2-0 victory against Spurs at 3 Point Lane. Absolutely brilliant in the cup. Great to see, great times. But hey, that's what being a West Ham fan. It's the hope that kills you, and the bubbles obviously fading and dying. But even if the table doesn't sell you, otherwise we are ever the optimist as I am. And to help us make sense of what's going to happen on Sunday, Christ knows, we have got top guest, a top opposition fan, Newcastle fan, and TalkSport presenter Olly Clink, who's going to give us his view from the Toon and try and maybe if we deep dig enough, we might find some reasons to be optimistic, some reasons to be cheerful. Let's wait and see. Let's bring in Olly. How you doing, man?
Yeah, really good. Thanks, mate. Sorry about what's going on at West Ham. Must be an absolute nightmare at the moment. I do mean that genuinely. That sounded very sarcastic.
And I know you do. No, and I know you do. And I know you genuinely do. I know you have enough, I know you've got a few mates who are West Ham fans as well. And obviously the accent somewhat gives it away that you maybe are not from up the Toon.
My thick Geordie accent always gives it away, doesn't it? But,
gives it away. I was going to put subtitles in, but don't need to now. I can just switch them off now, so it's fine. How are we? How are you, Olly? How's things? You're everywhere on fucking TalkSport at the moment.
Yeah, no, really good, thank you. Been a busy start to the season. Do you know what? This week we've actually just launched a new show that's Newcastle specific. It's going to be on the TalkSport YouTube channel and the TalkSport Newcastle YouTube channel. It's called Inside the Toon. So at the moment we've got I think it's Inside Gooners and Inside Red Devils. So they've decided that Newcastle are such a massive club that they need their own channel as well, and they're absolutely right. So yeah, we've kicked that off, which has been really exciting. And then I get to games at the weekend. Do you know what? I haven't actually been, I don't think, to West Ham this season, but they're usually a club I get to go to. I'll cover games in London a fair amount. I'm at Brighton actually though on Saturday. It's been fairly busy. I've got a show on TalkSport 2 as well. That's on Mondays between 3 and 6 p.m. It's been a busy start to the season, but so far a bit of a mixed one for Newcastle, but at the moment it's looking quite good.
Yeah, it is a bit mixed. I was just looking at the form table, and it does seem there's no, you've had some, obviously Champions League, been great in the Champions League. Benfica 3-0 and 4-0 away against Union St-Gilles, so that's great. And obviously beating Spurs is always great to see. Obviously, current holders of the cup as well. So you've got to be fancying yourself probably for another decent cup run, surely.
Yeah, do you know what? It's absolutely insane how good we've been in the Carabao Cup under Eddie Howe as well. Even if you go back to that run where they got to the final, the last game they lost after 90 minutes in the Carabao Cup was that final against Manchester United. They lost to Chelsea on penalties the season after that in the quarterfinals. They obviously won it last year. Don't know if have I mentioned that already, Russ? Have I already mentioned the League Cup win?
Sorry, did we mention we won the European Conference League a couple of years ago? I don't know if we kept that one quiet. And the World Cup.
Are you still champions of Europe? I can't remember. Yeah.
No.
And it kind of rolls on, which is great. Fulham at home in the next round is they've just beaten them in the Premier League. So yeah, it's quite exciting because once you can get into potentially one of those semi-finals, it gets pretty exciting. It's funny. it was such a weird feeling heading into this season. And firstly, getting whiplash every time someone said the word holders, that you just never ever would have associated that with Newcastle before. So and then kind of thinking like, oh, I've already won this one, so yeah, it's a bit boring now. Do we really want to win it again? But no, of course I'm joking. Like, that would be absolutely incredible. And the thing is, you know what it was like the day that West Ham won their trophy, and it's just the most surreal and brilliant and incredible day, isn't it? So the season, I think, is starting to turn, which is not in a positive way, which is not good news for you. I feel like heading into the weekend.
Well, I mean, yeah, exactly. And do you know what? It's a really good point, because obviously, we went through so long without winning a trophy, and then you was longer without a trophy, and now we both have it. Well, we don't have a trophy. Technically, we still got the trophy, but we don't, not the current holders. But it's funny, isn't it? The next day you're in a bit of a daze because you don't really know how to react. So like City, United, Arsenal, I mean, they've won stuff, so they're sort of used to it. But I was sort of walking around the next day like, so like
my life's completely changed. It's completely
like,
different. Honestly,
it's weird, isn't it?
It was. I don't know. It kind of sounds strange, even though it's so far along, but it still doesn't quite feel like it have, because you kind of. I absolutely love the Carabao Cup as well, because I just think it was that one competition every single season. I mean, especially under Mike Ashley, where the club literally came out and said, we're only focused on staying in the Premier League. You can basically disregard the cups. We'd go out in the third or fourth round every single season. It was just so demoralizing, and he just kind of sat there and went, well, what's the point? What is the point if you're just going to try and stay in the league and not give the fans that chance of believing at least that they could go all the way? And the fact that it has actually got over the line is still just very, very surreal. So yeah, I'm really hoping they push on. I mean, do you know what's actually bizarre as well is I saw Newcastle's lineup for the game against Spurs, and I thought, I'm really pleased he's going strong. Like, I think it's an important game. It's a bit of a statement as well to kind of knock out Spurs, who would have been a side that, even though they ended their trophy drought, I think would be going for it as well. But actually, he made 8 changes. And that actually proved, I think, the depth in the squad this season. It was a very frustrating window for a lot of reasons, but actually, I think, as the season settled in, it's actually been proven to be a really good window for Newcastle. So, as I say, I think mixed start, but it's just starting to tickle on quite nicely now.
Yeah, I mean, it's quite interesting what you said in terms of sort of staying in the Premier League and under the Mike Ashley thing. Obviously, we spoke before. There's quite a symbiotic sort of almost like history repeating itself type situation at the moment with West Ham and West Ham fans. And obviously, the game on Sunday will be the next in the series of protests by the fans, and this one will be a sit-in protest. And obviously, there's a lot of disenchantment among the fan base in terms of a similar type of thing that I think Newcastle fans suffered under Mike Ashley in terms of that. But there's no progression. There's no, if anything, it was slightly declining, and obviously it's declining out. West Ham second from bottom. So it does seem like quite a timely team to be playing.
I mean,
where you've been and where you come from now.
Yeah, and the other thing, do you know what's quite strange is I think one of the most surprising results of our season last season was obviously when West Ham won at St James's Park 2-0, and Newcastle at that point won a huge role. I think West Ham was struggling a bit, and it kind of came out of nowhere, that. And I actually was thinking the other day, and it sounds bizarre, but I'm so glad we're playing you at your place, because it's so toxic at the moment. It feels like an easy. I was literally talking to a West Ham fan the other day who said the same thing. They just said, "Look, I look forward to the away games way more than the home games now," which is just, it can't be like that. And do you know what? As well, I do think sometimes the West Ham fans get a bit misrepresented, and I don't think their kind of gripes and frustrations are kind of listened to that much. I absolutely hate that argument of, oh, you just forced out David Moyes, etc. Because I was covering West Ham at that time, and I would go to some of those games, and people forget that West Ham were being slapped up in some games. I was at the Fulham game when they lost 5-0. They were dreadful that day, and I feel, and I think even David Moyes would say this, that relationship and that time just ran its course. It was wonderful you got that trophy, but it was the right time to move on. The problem has been that the ownership have then made massive mistakes. 𝗧𝗪𝗘𝗪, awful hire. Graham Potter, I just think it was the wrong time as well. And he's struggled obviously ever since he took that Chelsea job. And you know, you've ended up with Nuno, which I didn't think was the worst appointment, but with the way he started, it looks really worrying, mate. So yeah, I would say that I'm more sympathetic with West Ham fans than maybe some other people would be.
Yeah, on the TalkSport network.
yeah.
We'll leave it like that.
I'm the only one flying the flag, mate.
Yeah, I know. It's all right. I know Jim White quite well, so that's all right. But yeah, I totally agree. And I think actually, you know, looking back at hindsight's a great thing. You would assume. I think actually the worst appointment was the 𝗧𝗪𝗘𝗪 appointment because you know, Moyes, although we were on a decline, Moyes had left us with some sort of a platform to build on. And I think actually potentially if you brought in Potter then rather than because then he could have, I suppose you're splitting hairs now. It is what it is now. But I said, yeah, in Nuno, I just think Nuno is one of these guys who to quote David Brent sort of thing, he charms me when it comes to the press conference. You know,
just a bit.
He
does.
He does. He does. Okay. But yeah, no, I think
so good.
No, sorry. No, I think
I'm sorry. I love that you did the snake hand as well. That's
you got to do it. Otherwise, you got to say he charmed me. Yeah, what? Yeah. But he does. He talks a really good game in the press conferences, and but I unlike Potter, where he talked a good game, but you didn't think there's any substance behind what he was saying.
Yeah,
Nuno, I just think he's got that. He just seems to be. He would scare me shitless if he went off on one in the changing room. I just got that. Whether it's that passion, and we'll see. He's had a tough run of games. He's got a squad which, as I said, I call it ironically for Halloween, it's a Frankenstein of a squad. You know, a third of it was bought under Moyes. So,
do you know what? I think Frankenstein of a squad is so bang on because the other massive problem's been recruitment, hasn't it? I mean, it's so, and you're so right, it's so scattergun, isn't it? There doesn't seem to be any kind of thought behind it, and you know, lo and behold, you've had 3 managers in the last couple of seasons. So there hasn't been a thought to be like, okay, we're going to bring in 𝗧𝗪𝗘𝗪 and he's going to try and play like this, so we're going to bring in the right players for that. It's just been, oh, that player seems all right, let's bring them in, and it's this strange policy of it always feels to me like West Ham just don't look at the age of some players. Like all the strikers seem to be. They have to be over 30 for some bizarre reason. I even thought, I mean, when they signed Callum Wilson, who I absolutely love, by the way, and did brilliant things for us, and actually, arguably Newcastle fans wouldn't say this, but I think underrated thing. He was instrumental. He scored 18 Premier League goals the first season they came 4th. He is won his day. Callum Wilson's a fantastic striker. He just had so many injury problems and too many. And it was such a frustration, and it didn't help Newcastle because they really lacked depth there, and so they did rely on he who must not be named quite a lot. But when West Ham went for Wilson, I just looked at it and thought, I just found it absolutely bizarre, genuinely bizarre with this injury record, and the fact that he wouldn't be up to match fitness even with a bit of a pre-season because it's just been so long since he's played a bit of football. And I just think that was symptomatic of all of the kind of recruitment problems with West Ham at the moment. Sorry, man, I was meant to be coming on to cheer you up a bit.
No, not at all. You know what?
I just think it's a nightmare.
It's very true. It's very true. And I think, again, it's when you look at things in isolation, if it was alongside, if we bought a young, we were linked to Idrissa Gueye, for example, who went to, I think he went to Torino or something like that, I think. If he was brought him alongside a Callum Wilson, then okay, that makes sense. Callum could come in and play 20 minutes here, and and I mean, Callum's on a sort of pay as you play type incentive at the moment. But then to leave us very short, where you've got someone like Füllkrug who's very similar to Callum, gets injured quite a lot. It's like we don't seem to, and unfortunately now we're in a situation where come January we need people to help us get us out of this situation, not necessarily plan for the future. So it will be probably Ruben Neves or someone like that who could come across from the south. We've obviously part of the Jorge Mendes harem, and Nuno and Jorge played together. So it's going to be that, and then we're going to be in a situation like we were in last season where we got rid of 6. We got rid of Cresswell, Soufal, Fabianski. We brought back Antonio. We got rid of all these players who were sort of hanging around the squad.
Yeah.
And it's frustrating, particularly as personally, I work a lot with the academy, and we've got some very good players in there who you think, if we're in a better position, would be moved up. And West Ham, it's all about the academy and stuff. And
yeah, of course
it's we seem to be it seems to be we're treading water again. Just trying to keep our head above the parapet.
Yeah, it does kind of look worrying. And all right, shall I give you a few things to make you a bit optimistic for Sunday? Because there's a couple of things. So firstly, Newcastle's away form in the league is not good at all. So they haven't won away since April the 3rd, I think, and that was Leicester. Having said that, their games away from home so far this season, I think, have been. There are some games in there that I absolutely dread every single season, and we just happen to have had them very early on. So we played Villa away, where we usually lose, managed to draw that first game of the season. Bournemouth away, I always hate. Eddie Howe's still not beating them in the league. Managed to get a draw, and I mean, look at them; they're absolutely flying. Leeds away, you could argue should have won. I think 𝗬𝗏 had just come in then, so he didn't even play. I think he was just at the game. And then Brighton away. I mean, do you know how Callum Wilson always used to score against West Ham? Like it was a guarantee. Us losing at Brighton is a guarantee, or not winning. Honestly, it will never happen. I don't think in my lifetime. I think we'll win the Premier League, FA Cup, we'll win the Champions League before we win at the Amex. So, absolute nightmare. But so those games are kind of out of the way. So it has been a tough start in some respects away from home. So firstly, there's that's something to kind of cling to. Secondly, I don't know why. There's just something about Nuno that just worries me a bit, because I can remember when he was at Forest and he'd just taken over. They were in a bit of trouble as well, and they came up to St James's Park. And do you remember when Chris Wood scored a hat-trick on Boxing Day? You might not, but so I don't know. That kind of worries me slightly, but. To be honest, we've been good at the London Stadium last couple of seasons as well. Had the 5-1, which I was at, and then had 1-0 last season, which was really important game in our season, because actually it was the game before the cup final. Yeah, and it's kind of been forgotten about a bit, that game, just because of the context of then heading into such a massive game. But it was a really, really important win, just for a bit of confidence and to take that into the final. I was in the away end for that one with my binoculars. It was a bit of a nightmare at that stadium. But so if I'm being completely honest, I think
you're clutching at straws, Ollie. I appreciate
should be good, but I'm just trying to lift your spirits for us.
I know, I appreciate that. I do appreciate it. I mean, even looking at the sort of injuries, and actually you've had people injured for a while now, so it's not like any sort of real new injuries. I mean,
no, in fact, they might be welcoming, Lewis Hall back, which would be, really actually quite important, because I think, I love Dan Burn obviously to bits, but he, for me, is much better at centre back. I kind of feel a bit sorry for him when he gets played at left back, because he's actually not as bad as people think at all at left back, but it just creates an area that teams can target. And obviously, he would be up against Bowen. So if we could just get Lewis Hall back in, that would be great. But I wouldn't even put it down as something that I'd be overly worried about. And then, so like I say, the squad depth is just looking pretty good. I mean, Bruno Guimaraes, he didn't start against Tottenham in midweek, so you'd expect him to come back into the team. Tonali is, I honestly think Tonali is one of the best midfielders in the league at the moment. So it's things starting to click. Obviously, we've also got a big German up top.
Well, you've got one playing. Ours is on the sideline. Ours will be in the dugout. But you've got one playing. He's a bit of a bigger fucking German than our big fucking German.
Yeah, just about. I mean, definitely. Yeah, height wise, 6'7". Do you know what? I saw him. I covered the Brighton game for Talksport, and obviously after the game you go and wait and chat to the managers and stuff like that. And Voltwan just came in for his interviews, and honestly, like I mean, we're talking like a huge ceiling in this kind of little press area, and he's already like kind of already ducky. He's absolutely enormous, genuinely enormous.
And it's exactly what you need when you've got a team who's conceded 3 times more set pieces than anyone else in the league.
I mean,
Ollie, right? Why the fuck were you on it? No, it's true. Yeah, it's true, isn't it? It's like 6 foot, you know, and it's like when you've got a side which somehow has just completely just forgot how to defend at corners. Up against Nick Volkmar, up against bloody Max Kilman, it's going to be an absolute bloodbath. Let's be honest.
I mean, is it going to get to the stage where when Newcastle win a corner, they'll celebrate it like a penalty?
Well, it was. I mean, to be honest, about what was it 10 years ago? You know, when we had a corner or a free kick, Dimitri Payet, we almost knew it was a goal. You know, and so we were like, we were off our seats, ready for us to score. Now we're ready to concede. You know, we just know it's gonna. Yeah, fuck it. It's almost like at school rugby or whatever. You know, after a while.
With the big lads.
Oh, go on, just give me. Yeah, go on. Yeah, or you're playing rugby sevens and he's broken through, and you go, can't be bothered. It is going to be like that. I think I just don't understand it. We weren't that bad last year at corners. We've got the same side. It's not like
it's really odd, isn't it? It's really. I mean, they obviously had that little spell. Well, I mean, are they still doing the zonal market?
Do you know the thing that really annoys me, Ollie, is the jumping. They do this bouncing thing, and they're all bouncing like this, and it's like I don't understand it, you know, because like surely you'll mistime your bounce, and I just don't get it. And then the zonal marking, and then like Brentford, like Paqueta just let. Oh no, it wasn't. It was the Leeds game. Joe Rondon just let him. Paqueta. And why is Paqueta a sort of a? I don't understand it. Why is he marking a centre half and not? Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean the thing is, I've just talked about wanting Lewis Hall to come back in for Dan Burn, but maybe not.
No, you might as well keep that.
Dan Burn on. Just play him up front.
Well, I mean, and then the frustrating thing is if Big Dan Burn did play, for example, he'd be up against Bowen, and you know we're doing this sort of long ball. So like Dan Burn versus Bowen, that's not going to work. So yeah, I'm worried about a cricket score on Sunday. I'm usually.
Are you really? Are you really that worried about it?
I just think it's like it's one of those things where. I mean, you know, you've been to enough games. If the fan base is already that way, it doesn't take a lot to spark a fire. You know, it's like
early goal for Newcastle, and that's it.
Exactly. It's a very early. It's a very it's like it's an LA forest fire. It's all very very dry, and all it takes is one little spark, and it will ignite, and then that's it.
Yeah.
And Eddie's not stupid. Eddie will go. He will say, right, we'll get the crowd on them already. All out attack, first 5-10 minutes, fight them, early goal. But the trouble is, because it's a sit-in protest, they've got to stay to the end. So even if it is 3 or 4, that's the only issue. I
think that the worry as well is I've noticed this with Eddie Howe's Newcastle as well, is that there's no let up. So some teams cruising and they go kind of 3-0 up. I'm saying all this now, it'll be 1-0 Callum Wilson 82nd minute, won't it? But they had the game a couple of seasons ago where they beat Sheffield United 8-0. I'm not saying that's going to happen, but what I mean is when Newcastle smell blood, they don't stop as well. They will keep going, and if they can get the better of the defense, they will keep scoring. So yeah, that would be a bit of a worry. But am I right in saying Mavropanos is out as well?
Oh yeah, Mavropanos will be out. Mavropanos will be out for like 6 weeks. Although to be honest, it shows the indictment of our side. I think he's been our best defender all season.
Yeah, I was going to say he has.
And so Jean-Claire Tolibo has been awful. Max hasn't been great. We've got Brighton's 12th choice centre half on loan, Igor, who hasn't had a sniff. So how bad must he be if he's not getting into the side? We've called up on the young lads. Ezra Mayers, who I think's got a huge future. He's been called up into the first team to do some training, I imagine, to probably cover. But yeah, my only sort of slight maybe hope is you do have Champions League on Wednesday.
Yeah, it's true.
So
True.
you've only got a 3. So although they go for blood, maybe it might be all right, job done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I thought when you said you had hope, it would be like maybe for a point or a win. It's actually
Well,
so you don't lose
but
that
then anything's possible. Anything's possible.
Oh no, Russ.
That'll be in the back of Eddie's mind, surely. They've got.
I think
the
so.
Champions League. They're doing well, but
I think you're right because I'm actually going to that game against Bilbao, and Newcastle have to target those home games because they've got PSG away as one of their games, which is obviously very tough. They've got leverkusen away, which it's not the easiest tie obviously in the world. Liverpool did pretty well when they went there, and look at them at the moment. But I think going into the Champions League campaign, they've obviously done well, beaten Union Saint-Gilloise, and they've beaten Benfica. But these home games, they really do have to target. So it is a good point, and also, it is the start of what could be quite a tricky run. They've got Brentford away after that, which I think is a tougher game than people make out. They were very good against Liverpool. They've then got Man City. They've got Marseille away, Everton away, where there's this weird rivalry with Everton as well, mainly based on Jordan Pickford. So, I do know what you mean. But yeah, I think you're right in the sense that they'll try and go all out from the off and try and play on the fact that home atmosphere might not be the most most pleasant for West Ham.
I think but the slight crumb of optimism was, and you mentioned it already, was the game last year at your camp, because we were like that. We were like, where's this team been? It was like the complete game. Paqueta was like first on all the stats. It was like he was, I don't know, he was like, where's this performance been? And like for the whole side. And that's the thing about West Ham. We never just randomly we're going to pull out a couple. And we did it like Arsenal away last year as well. First team to beat them. Both obviously games being away though, that being the issue. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see. What's the score going to be, Ol?
I think it will be 3-0 to Newcastle. I think it will. I think they'll probably get the job done. But I'll keep it at 3.
Keep it at 3. Very kind of you. Very kind of you.
That's all right.
I reckon we get a point to be a good result for us. Right. Anyway, let's have a bit of fun. Anyway, everyone who comes on the channel plays this game. Now, this game is still patent pending. I'm still waiting for Hasbro to come back, maybe in time for Christmas. You never know. Player Pictionary. So basically, there's West Ham and Newcastle. There's been a lot of players who have played for both sides. Played for West Ham and for Newcastle. Didn't mention Harrison Ashby, who's injured apparently. Oh, that worked out well for him, that move. Anyway, so we're not bitter or anything. We're not bitter, although I did really rate him as a player and I was gutted when he left. And so it's a bit like catchphrase, say what you see. It will make sense. We've only got a few, but we'll see how you get on. So so you've just got to say what you see. So these are all players who played for West Ham and have played for Newcastle.
Ooh. Okay, so it's Andy. Oh, and I'm just Carfile.
No, it's the action of what the person's doing.
Oh,
Andy.
Carol. What? Carol. Oh,
Carol.
Yeah. Carol. Oh, rolling. I was like, is that a nail file?
Yeah, I couldn't find. I originally put like a bread roll, but people might call it a bap or whatever. So I thought a roll, but anyway, yeah. So you get it. This is the time.
I get it now. Yeah.
This is literally what I do at night. I literally will wake up and go, "You're showing Ben."
I was like, they were playing the '90s Andy Carfile that I don't know.
Brilliant player.
Cool. Yeah, great player. Andy Carfile was right back, wasn't he? Yeah.
Offered something different in the final third.
Got one England cap. Yeah.
One England cap. Yeah, England B. Okay, who's this one?
Stuart.
And what have they put into what they've had to do?
Pearce.
To put in? Stuart Pearce.
Stuart Pearce.
See,
I love that because a lot of people, I think, sometimes forget he played for Newcastle. Yeah, it's
same with West Ham, really. I mean, the thing is,
and West Ham, that
sort of late period. I mean, he was Hammer of the Year for us.
Oh yeah, of
37
course,
or
yeah.
something like that. It was like, you know,
Wow.
mental. And it was like, and like with that Newcastle sort of that end renaissance of his career. Stuart Pearce.
Talksport legend, of course, as well.
Talksport
Mr.
legend.
Pearce. Yeah.
There we go. Okay.
Okay.
I'm going to give you a little clue. That thing in that sort of wire, that's called a din. That's a din connection.
Okay. And am I going with Les or Dennis?
You are.
Les.
Yeah.
Oh, 𝗪𝗚𝗏𝗧. Nice. That's very good.
He's good at it.
I needed the din clue.
I thought I use that one quite a lot with like Rio Ferdinand or an ant on Ferdinand.
Very good. Very good.
There we go. You see,
Was he decent for West Ham, Les?
Sort of one of those last season hurrahs. Came and did a job for us. Wouldn't say it was, again, one of those people who you probably forget played for us. So it's that sort of period where we got a lot of these players in, like him. We had Stuart Pearce. We had, well, not Stuart, but we had Nigel Winterburn. So these guys, literally at the end of their careers, coming for like one last. I always call West Ham, very rarely. It's a bookend club. We either get players at the beginning or the end of their careers. Never really. So someone like Payet, we got in his pomp, which was so unusual. Right. Obviously, you know your rap. You're a big rap fan. I can tell there, Ollie. So we're going with the surname of this famous rap artist.
Oh my word! I know who it is. I know who it is. Scott Parker.
Well done.
Is that Travis Scott?
It is Travis Scott. Well done. Is it Travis Scott? Like, you know, you've got a big tattoo on your back. I know.
Yeah.
Right. What about this one? I don't know if you will.
Oh, Kevin Nolan. Legend. Do you know what, as well? Huge shout out to Kevin Nolan today in particular, because it is Halloween. So it will be, 2025? So 15 years since he scored a hat-trick against Sunderland. Greatest day ever.
Wow.
Best day ever.
What a man. Big fan of Kev.
What a man. Oh,
what a man. I mean, I remember we interviewed him once. We did a player thing, and he was he's going to be on the channel soon, but obviously he's Northampton town manager at the moment. He made a point of, he won promotion as a player at West Ham. He won the cup as an assistant manager. He's like, I'll come back and win the league. I'll come back and win the league. We're like, Kevin, no, but yeah. But yeah, great player. And obviously, because obviously he moved from you, where I think he'd had his best ever like goal tally the previous season in the Premier League, and he dropped down because obviously we had Big Sam to the Championship. So it was a hell of a move for him.
And I think you came up and then beat us 1-0 at St James's Park, and he scored. I know that because I was there.
Yeah, sounds about right. Sounds about right. Yeah. What about this one?
Oh, okay. So that's Lee Evans.
Yeah, so take Lee for that bit.
Just take Lee.
Yeah. And what is he? So he's taking something. So what's he get? So he's
oh God, this is tricky.
he's a robber. So what is he? So he's gonna
Nick.
No. Yeah.
Rob Lee.
Rob Lee.
How did I not get that from Lee? That's awful from me.
Again, another player who was bought at West Ham in the tail end of his career. You know, one of these. We had some great players, but they were all about 5 years too old.
They were all done.
All done. Yeah. Good old Rob. Lovely, love Rob.
Yeah.
What we got? Okay, I'm trying. Who's this one?
Okay. Yeah, I know who that is.
Yeah, got him.
Think Kieran Dyer.
Yes.
Yeah, that's good.
Kieran Dyer.
Yeah, very good.
Oh, thank you.
God, for 2 a.m, putting these together, these are really good, mate.
Honestly, I've got like my notes, my iPhone notes, just so random of like players like used to play for us, and then I go, okay, we've got Ollie coming on, so I can do the Newcastle one. Okay, so right, this one's a bit of a stretch. Yeah.
You're very lucky because I love Friday Night Dinner, so that is Callum Wilson.
Yes, indeed, and that is some anime thing. Callum, his name is. Never heard of him. I didn't know. So
even you don't know.
I know. I sort of googled it, Callum, and it's like, I don't we know. Yeah, good old Wilson, Callum Wilson.
Yeah.
I love it. And that's it. That's it. That's it. I told you. That's it.
Brilliant.
You could do that all day. You could do that all day.
Good. Yeah, I love that. That was brilliant.
Good. As I say, still patent pending, waiting for Hasbro to come back with the final terms in turn for Christmas. But anyway, mate, it's been a pleasure. Absolute pleasure. Thank you so much for your time.
You too. Yeah, it's been great. And well, I wish you luck for Sunday.
I wish you all the best after Sunday, personally.
Thanks, mate. Appreciate it. Thank you.
But if hopefully we'll, if you get down to London Stadium, drop us an Insta, and I'll see you in the press room. So I'll be in the press room anyway. So yeah, we'll say hello.
Oh, top man. Yeah,
anyway.
100%. Definitely will.
Take care, everyone. Stay safe. Keep the faith, my friends. Happy Halloween, all that shit. And myself and Ollie will see you later. Much love. Bye.